Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a hilarious video for you here today of a modern woman deciding that it would be a good idea to have a girls' night out against her boyfriend's wishes, obviously, only to return home, quote unquote home, and be kicked out. I mean, this crap is absolutely hilarious. I think that men should do this from the jump. If your girl wants to have a girls' night out, that's fine. She is not going to be returning to you. So let's take a look at this video here, guys. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Have you ever done the same thing to a woman? I'd be interested to know down in the comments. Let's jump right in.
Oh, no. You see what time it is?
Yes, I'm tired.
Where were you?
I was with my girls. I told you I was going out.
You went out yesterday at 9 p.m. It's 4 p.m. next day. And why do you have an overnight bag if you just going to the club with your friends?
Because I had to get dressed at her house, and then we went out and we had a good time.
So why wouldn't you come back home?
Why are you asking me so many questions? Just let me in.
No. Where's your keys at? Where's your keys?
Does it matter? I'm here.
And why do you look like that? You look like you just woke up. You know what? Take your black ass back to where you came from. Thank you very much. Thank you. Step a little close. The door's gonna stand about now. Thank you.
Obviously, he never went out before. Sometimes you gotta lay down on your homie's couch before you can head home.
What is this gaslighting that people do, man? I mean, we all know what she was doing. This is the kind of issue that I have with modern day society, guys, right? Is the level of gaslighting that happens to men. Oh, don't worry, bro. You know, her phone went off for 13, 14 hours or whatever. But don't worry, it's totally fine. She's returning from a girls' night out with like a sleeping bag or whatever the hell where she's packed all of her supplies. But it was just because she got changed at her friend's house. Like, these people just sit here and they gaslight men. I think men collectively have honestly had enough of this garbage. Everybody knows what she was doing. She was out there cheating. She was getting attention from dudes. Complete waste of time.
Her single friends gave her single advice. Now she is single. Single math. Good for you. Respect is everything. If you want to move like you are single, be single. Go stay at your single friend's house. Back where you came from.
And why do you have an overnight bag if you're just going to the club with your friends?
Asking her why she had an overnight bag was a valid question, because if she was just going to a girls' night, why would she need a whole bag?
Just by the way, guys, when women do this crap, I want you to notice they will always have some excuse lined up, right? She's already thought about this ahead of time. You know, she's trying to return with the bag, and she's thought to herself, well, I have to come up with some sort of at least slightly logical excuse that he'll buy. But the problem is, guys, is the behavior tells you everything you need to know. I don't care how great this woman's story was. The fact of the matter is, I don't want to be dating girls. I don't want to be marrying girls who have these girls' nights out. And I think a lot of guys are the same, right? Why would you take a woman seriously if she's going out there and having girls' nights out? We all know what girls' night out means, okay? Getting attention from random guys. The possibility of her cheating on you is incredibly high. Borderline, guys, I would just say that straight up, going and trying to get attention from other men is cheating to begin with. So, you know, me and along with many other men, not interested. I don't really care what story you provide.
It also suggests that she had planned an after-party destination ahead of time, and this is probably the reason he is uncomfortable. He knows certain dots are not connecting. It seems like his decision helped her realize that her partner is someone with strong principles. He values honesty and transparency and wants to have all the facts before moving forward, and that's why his reaction made sense. She couldn't give him a clear explanation for his questions. If she had been upfront and told him about her plans, it could have avoided a lot of confusion.
I mean, here's the thing, guys, right? I don't care how upfront the woman is with her plans. If you want to have, you know, girls' nights out and go and do these things, that's fine. But the relationship simply won't exist. You know, I'm not here to force anybody. We as men, oftentimes, we're not out here to force women to not go out on girls' nights. You want to go out on girls' nights, that's fine. You want to go out traveling with your girls to, I don't know, some country, right? Away from everybody that you know. That's your prerogative. I don't give a damn. I think a lot of dudes are done convincing women. Again, I don't care how logical the story is or how much it makes sense. The action is the same.
When someone sleeps over without giving notice, it's natural for their partner to feel uncertain or start doubting things. That kind of behavior can lead to drama and weaken trust in the relationship, which seems like something he's not willing to be part of. He actually did a good thing for both of them because respect is everything in a relationship. By holding his ground, he's made it clear that respect and honesty are non-negotiable, which is crucial for any healthy relationship. At the same time, he's also given her the opportunity to enjoy the single lifestyle she seems to want. If that's what she prefers, then it's better for both of them. It's also possible that she was influenced by some of her single friends, and that may have led to her decisions. But unfortunately, she became homeless in the process.
Everything was perfectly fine until she demonstrated how popular she is. It seems like her friend zone is crowded and her partner is no longer enjoying this vibe.
Just before we continue on to the next clip here, guys, this is actually a fantastic point that modern dating here brings up in this video, which is that women will oftentimes have these friends that are completely terrible for any relationship that they're trying to have, right? They'll be in their ear saying, oh, come out with us, girl, it's totally fine. If he doesn't like you doing X, Y, Z, then he's insecure. And then before you know it, the woman who's taking advice from these quote-unquote friends becomes single. I swear to you guys, women have these people that they think are friends, but they just give each other the worst advice possible, and then they wonder why they're single. And they do like this, they have this little echo chamber going on, which is like, oh yeah, girl, don't worry, he broke up with you because he couldn't handle you. As if men want to handle them in the first place, but they just give each other really, really bad advice. That's like one of the largest threats to modern day relationship, by the way, is just other women who are single going around giving quote-unquote information to other women, you know, telling them what to do and what's good and what's bad. They have no idea. They have no frame of reference because no dude even wants to keep them in the first place. But let's continue on to this next clip here.
Some of us girls are just nice people and know a lot of people. Got nothing to do with relationships, nothing. Just good vibes.
Again, guys, with the gaslighting comments, I mean, what did I say earlier? Okay, check this out. This individual here is trying to convince you that, hey, it doesn't matter if she knows a bunch of dudes, you know, going out, right? Let's just say you guys go out, you go for some drinks or whatever. Yeah, don't be concerned. She just knows a bunch of guys. Nothing has come of it ever. Like, get the hell out of here with the gaslighting. I have seen this so many damn times to where dudes will come online and they'll ask a question or they'll post a video like this, and then the women will get on there and they will just lie through their teeth. We all know that if a woman has a whole bunch of dude friends, you already know that's a huge red flag. I mean, guy friends to begin with are a red flag, and let's call it for what it is. A lot of these women who have guy friends, they have hooked up with them before, they have flirted with them before, and so on and so forth. Again, a lot of guys will look at you and say, listen, you have dude friends, that's fine, but I'm not going to take you seriously. Just by the way, this is why so many women cannot get relationships out of guys. You know, they hook up with the guy multiple times and they try and lock him down for a relationship, and he's always vague and he's seeing other people. This is the exact kind of crap that puts men off of committing to you in the first place. But women never want to acknowledge this. There's only really gaslighting.
I know a lot of people because of my profession. They know how them sugar walls feel. I'm sure she went to school at some point. So of course she's gonna know people in general.
Yes, of course.
She passed out too many hugs. Turn off. It would be a different story if it was one or two friends, but it seems like she is well known by most guys. So
I mean, I don't care if it's one or two. Again, dudes are just very happy to let behaviors from women slide. These are the types of women. Your girls out here hugging dudes, I mean, people will call you insecure for this. They'll be like, oh yeah, don't worry, it's not that big of a deal. It's a red flag, guys. It absolutely is. Now, You are free to date whichever woman that you like, but, you know, don't come crying to me if you date a woman, she's going out there hugging dudes if you get cheated on. Like, it's just avoid it altogether. This is the crazy part about these situations, is that men will just be gaslit the entire damn time. I don't want a woman who has dude friends. I don't think a lot of guys want the same thing as well. Oh, it's just my profession, that's why I know so many guys, or I knew all these dudes in school. Really? You were going around hugging dudes in school. You go around and you hug dudes from the workplace. Get the hell out of here. Like, what is... I think, you know, dudes should start doing the same thing. Oh yeah, you know, she's just a friend. I take her out to dinner sometimes and I buy her food, but that's just because I'm being friendly. I knew her from school. Can you imagine how pissed off women would be if dudes started doing that?
So it sends a different kind of message. This can make most men uncomfortable, especially if they're thinking about dating her. It's not just casual handshakes, they're hugging each other in a way that shows they have a deeper connection. That kind of closeness can be concerning, especially since it's known that the friend zone is often full of exes or guys waiting for a chance to be next in line. By keeping those relationships so close, she's showing that she is still interested in maintaining those options, and that's bound to make her partner uneasy.
For you to come at me, for you to come at me.
The situation gets even more complicated when she pushes her partner to hug them. It shows how much she values their friendship, but at the same time, it could reveal something about how much she respects her partner. It's almost like she's prioritizing those friendships over his comfort, which can make him question his place in her life.
You guys imagine just for a moment, by the way, if we were to switch genders here and you had a video on TikTok where a dude pushed away his girlfriend to go and hug other women, you already know that the comments would not be like, like the comments would just be roasting the guy. There would be no comments about, oh, maybe they're just friends from school, or maybe they're friends from work. You already know. You post this crap to TikTok, you reverse the genders, and all of the women in the comments who are supporting this crap to begin with, they are going to have an issue with it. I guarantee you.
Imagine if the roles were reversed. She probably wouldn't feel great if her partner was hugging every girl in the room.
Of course not.
That should have been a reason for her to be more mindful and not push him aside for the sake of her friendships. It's about mutual respect, and her actions here show a bit of a disregard for how her partner might feel.
She wants to know what to do to get her man to marry her. She believes that they should be married by now, but it seems like he doesn't share the same opinion.
Okay, before we jump into this clip, I'm actually going to record a video that these guys did specifically on this woman after this one, or maybe before. It depends when you guys see it live on the channel. But this woman is trying to... There's another video before we get into this where she gives her husband... she gives her boyfriend an ultimatum to try and get him to marry her. And oh boy, it does not go down well. It really doesn't. And I'll just say, man, a lot of these girls, they think they're wife material. They think that they're deserving of marriage when most certainly they are not. And by the way, even if girls are worthy of marriage, the problem is you can't marry them anyway because you'll just get screwed over by the government, or at least you'll have a strong possibility of that happening. I mean, dudes are often, again, the gaslighting, right? Men are gaslit into thinking, well, it's okay, just get a prenup. But we all know prenups are thrown out all of the damn time, and dudes get screwed over. This is why I don't advocate for marrying at all. I just think it's a risk for men. But nevertheless, this woman, absolutely hilarious. Let's get into it.
Now she is asking for those who have any idea of what can she do to make him take that step.
For those of you that are married, how did you get your significant other to see the value in getting engaged and getting married?
Ask you a random question. When you proposed to me, did you feel like I had to convince you to do that, or did you want to do that on your own?
No, I wanted to.
Why?
Why would you? I don't need convincing.
I know, but I was watching a TikTok where a girl was like, hey, what did you do to get your boyfriend, or what are some things I could do to get my boyfriend to convince him that we should get married, because they've been in a long-term relationship. So, like, we were in a, I'm not gonna say long-term, but we were in a relationship. Basically what the dude is saying, like, we're already together, why do we have to get married? So, like, what was your reasoning?
I mean, I liked it, so I put a ring on it. No, I mean, I wanted to commit to being with you forever.
Did you
I
think
didn't want to not be with you.
Did you think like marriage was the only way to go about it, or did you like you're happy to be married? Like, do you think being married versus?
I love being married.
Oh, really?
Being married to you.
That was a great response. If you feel the need to pressure someone to take this step, maybe you should think again, because it's not a good idea.
Yeah, I think women really have the wrong idea about trying to get commitment from men, particularly things like marriage. It's always like, how can I manipulate the man into doing X thing, right? Rather than, how can I be someone that men actually want to marry in the first place? Because I guarantee you, man, all of these women making these TikTok videos, they're not feminine people. They don't have characteristics that men are interested in. Usually they're the type of people who are doing the gaslighting in the comments from the earlier video. You can't even wife the women. Like, you really can't. They will just go out there, they'll cheat on you, they'll try and take your money, or a combination of those things. And make no mistake about it, guys, the divorce statistics are in, okay? Divorce rates incredibly high. The odds of you being divorced by a woman, as in she's the one initiating it, incredibly damn high. And women have no idea. I have said this many times on the channel, but women are really damn clueless when it comes to what men want in relationships. They never bother to even ask the question. And when they do ask the question, it's wrong. They just go, how can I convince the guy, rather than, hey, what the men want. They still phrase it wrong, because then it's kind of like going out here and trying to sell a product and being like, hey, how can I trick the customer, rather than be like, yo, how can I make something that the customer actually wants to buy or gives a damn about? Crazy to me. Women trying to sell themselves to men, but never once asking the question what men might want. Absolute classic. Let's keep going.
And I wanted to show that to show you that. Why?
Just because of what she said. I just thought it was an interesting take.
I feel like if you have to be convinced to marry somebody, then you probably should. Or it's an indication that you don't want to.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself, really. The translation here is that the men don't want to marry you because they don't view you as marriage material. Really, really simple. And also, the problem that modern women are having these days too is that even if men do miraculously view you as marriage material, a lot of them don't want to get married because they acknowledge that it comes with a whole bunch of different risks. I mean, that's the problem that modern women have created for themselves. You want to use marriage as a weapon against men. This is what happens. Men opt out of marriage. I think the latest I've heard, as of quite a while ago, I think it was something like 6 in 1,000 men want to get married these days. I mean, the marriage rates have absolutely plummeted. As far as I understand, the birth rates have also plummeted. I mean, dudes are just not... Yes, there's economic factors to that, in particular with raising children, for example. But dudes are just not having it, man. We are really not having it. And to be honest, there's not a lot of compelling arguments for men to go out here and do these things. I never expect people to do things simply because, right? There's always a reason, typically, why people do things. And let me just say this. Men are really lacking reasons to marry modern women, particularly the ones making TikTok videos. But let's keep going.
I've never met a man like this in my entire life. Not even who dated my friends. I'm so happy he exists, but it also makes me sad because a lot of us will never even cross paths with someone like him.
Okay, I have to keep pausing on these stupid comments. Gaslighting again. Guys, I guarantee you, if you were to give this woman, this man from the video that she's saying is so fantastic, she still wouldn't date him. I guarantee you that. Absolutely guarantee you that. See, women do this crap where they say, listen, I want a man who's going to commit to me. I want that old school romance. I want and she'll list off all these great characteristics that sound good on paper. You know, he's got to have great morals and commit to me because he wants to, and so on and so forth. The part that they leave out, okay, the women omit this from every single time they say it. They want these things from a particular kind of man. They do not want these things from the average guy, particularly if it's an average woman. Average women do not like to date average men. But you see what I'm saying, guys? The caveat to this is women want this behavior, but they want it from, for lack of a better word, from Chad. They want it from the highly attractive guy. They want it from the dude who has a bunch of options and who has no reason to commit to them in the first place. Comments like this are absolutely ridiculous to me, man, because women will sit there and they will try and convince you that they just want these things. But really, they want those things plus you to be a bunch of other things. So they never mention the other things. And typically the other things are rich and physically attractive. Right? As women get older, they value the money more and more, in particular, in that equation.
My husband told me he was going to marry me within a few weeks of us dating. I didn't have to convince him of anything. My husband, going on 10 years, got the ring after our first date without even kissing me. If he wants to, he will.
See, I don't even understand this either, man. I think a lot of these guys really aren't doing their due diligence with the type of women that they marry. And this is why a lot of men get screwed over, right? They plan to marry a woman within a week. I guarantee you this, a lot of modern women, they can be complete and utter psychos, and they can hold that mask up for more than a week. I would not go out here purchasing wedding rings and all of this stuff. I mean, I'm not for marriage anyway. But women hold on that crazy mask very, very well, guys. You know, I think a lot of dudes, they get a girlfriend and they're so excited. Maybe it's their first, or maybe they don't really get much attention from women. And so they just dive head first and they throw it all out the window and they risk everything. I personally think it's a very bad idea. I'm not here to tell men what to do. But me personally, I think it's a very risky maneuver. And I think dudes should take themselves a little bit more seriously. And their lives a little bit more seriously, because that's what you're playing with here when you deal with modern women, especially in the context of marriage.
It was a valid question, but she's looking at it from the wrong perspective. You shouldn't have to convince your significant other to marry you. It should happen organically. All you really need to do is be yourself and show through your actions the kind of wife you would have, and let him decide. Most men know within a few months whether they see themselves marrying the woman they are currently in a relationship with. It's all about how they naturally connect. It's not something that needs convincing. It just happens if it's right. The fact that she felt the need to ask this question is a bit of a red flag. It suggests she feels like they should be married by now, but for some reason, that hasn't happened.
I feel like if you have to be convinced to marry somebody, then you probably should.
I agree with his perspective. Getting married is a personal choice. It shouldn't be pressured or influenced by others. Marriage is a serious decision, and it's something that should happen naturally when both people are ready, not because someone feels like the other should make that move.
She believes that a woman shouldn't cry over a man who makes less money than them. Somehow she came up with this theory, and I am struggling to understand her point.
Okay, before we jump into this one, I've got to have a little bit of a break on my brain here. So, some context for this clip. Now, I haven't seen this clip, but I wanted to make a comment on the income thing. And this is what I was talking about earlier with women dating, you know, an average woman dating an average guy, and they usually don't want to do that. It's the same thing with money as well. Women oftentimes do not want to date quote unquote below them. I think there was this massive article that came out a while ago where women were complaining that there was a lack of quote unquote economically viable men or economically attractive men for relationship prospects, right? And I mean, it's true, guys. Women, especially on a long-term scale, don't like to date dudes who earn less money than them. If they are looking to have a committed relationship, not some fling, then they are going to be assessing your bank account. And of course, guys, if you do not earn enough money, then you are considered subhuman, essentially, right? Not worth their time, not worth any sort of politeness whatsoever. Really sad. Now, not every woman is just going to treat you like absolute dirt, but they will certainly disqualify you for a relationship oftentimes if you don't at least earn more money than them. which again really throws that whole love idea out the window, doesn't it? That whole Disney fairy tale that all men were sold. Yeah, that kind of goes out the window very damn quickly, doesn't it?
Let's just be real for a quick second.
All right,
How many of you have cried over a man you made more money than? How ghetto? And I'm guilty. I used to cry over a man I made more money than.
I cried over a man who drove me to work in my own car. When we go out.
What the hell is this comment, by the way? So, number one, this is what I'm saying with the hookups, right? Women will go out here and hook up with dudes, but when they're looking for long-term stuff, oh, he needs to have a bank account, right? He needs to have a fat wallet. But check this out. Let's go to the first comment here if I can pull that one up. This great profile picture here, by the way. I cried over a man who drove me to work in my own car. This has, again, I really want to point this out. A lot of people have commented before on my channel, oh, Taylor nitpicks the videos, you know. There's not that many crazy women out there. For context, this comment alone from this woman has 4,400 likes. Now, consider how many other likes are on this video, and then consider how many other videos are like this video that are publicly posted to TikTok every single damn day. Let that sink in for a second. But this woman is basically berating herself for crying over a man who didn't have a car, it seems. Now, this dude drove her to work, right? He went through the effort of driving her there. He took the lead. He drove her there, and she can't even show appreciation for that. I mean, like, this is why men don't do nice crap for women, guys, is because, like, even if they do nice things, maybe this guy was being nice, you know? He was driving you to work. He didn't have to do that, but he just gets berated on the internet for doing it. Don't be surprised when men withdraw all of the nice actions that they do for women, because women clearly don't want them, you know? Oh, he did a nice action, but, you know, he doesn't really have enough money, so, you know, I don't like him. Like, get the hell out of here, man. No wonder dudes don't open doors for you anymore. Disgusting. Keep going.
To give him my credit card so it looked like he was paying. I cried over a man I financially supported for 4 months. I cried over a homeless guy. He didn't even have a job. The reality check we all needed. Making more than your partner isn't their fault. You were with the wrong one, that's all. Money has nothing to do with it. I want to expand on one of the comments. It made me question a few things. I cried over a man I financially supported for 4 months.
Can you imagine if dudes were making comments like this, man? Again, men are expected to financially support women. And, like, are we supposed to go out here and mock women who earn less money than us? You know why dudes don't do this, by the way? Because we don't give a damn. Like, it doesn't matter to us how much money a woman earns. Oh, she earns 100K a year, great. She earns $1 million a year, great. She earns 20K a year, great. Don't care. Dudes don't care about these sorts of things, man. I am telling you, when they are looking for a wife, when they are looking for a girlfriend, we don't look what's in your bank account. But this is crazy. Again, guys, with the hookups, when women are going out here seeking these short-term relationships, they'll hook up with dudes as long as he's attractive. They'll cry over these dudes, and that's where, like, when these women go and get married at 30 years of age, these are the men that those women are still attached to, by the way. So what they do is in their early 20s and throughout their 20s, they go and date the bad boys who don't have the finances. They approach 30 years of age and they realize, oh crap, I need to lock down something serious with a man who earns money now because I'm running out of time. I don't want to work the rest of my life. I want to have kids maybe, so I need a financially responsible man. They go out there, they lock down that guy, right? But the thing is, they're always thinking about those attractive dudes that they had fun with in their 20s. And this is why their marriages don't work out, man. They're still thinking about that dude that they were previously with when they were like 23 years of age that they financially supported. And meanwhile, the husband or the long-term boyfriend, he gets no bedroom fun action whatsoever because she's too tired and she has a headache. It's crazy, man. Dudes get the short end of the stick and they're gaslit into doing it. It's really disgusting.
I know most women wouldn't be willing to support their partner financially for a long time. This is a fact I was fine with. But I wasn't aware that 4 months was too long. It would be more understandable if he was unemployed for several months, close to a year, and wasn't doing anything to get back on his feet. But supporting your man for 4 months isn't a lot, especially when he is doing everything he can to find a job.
I mean, it's a long time for women, I'll say that. A lot of modern women these days, they don't want to financially support a man at all. It can be for a day. Like, let me put this in context, guys. Women don't want to do this for a single date, right? Let's think about that for a second. How many TikTok videos have you guys seen where women are like, ew, he didn't offer to pay on the first date, or he's not paying on dates. It's an absolute ick. I mean, 4 months is actually a long time for modern women, and the reason why she did it was because he was highly attractive. But most women don't want to do it at all. Or in fact, if they're staunch womanists, they just refuse to do it. Unless, of course, the man is attractive enough, then all of the rules go out of the window. But guys, I think we are going to be leaving today's episode there. I've got a little bit of a headache from listening to these women and their gaslighting in the comment sections. So guys, don't forget to leave your own thoughts and comments. Make sure you balance out the craziness with your own comments. That would be very much appreciated. As always, don't forget to take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.